we've selected the ruin. We're going to have a ruin cast and we're going to channel the messages. Now, yes, because Mercury is shadow direct, it can start to become a little bit easier, but because you are the North Node, there can still be some challenges, but transformations, and it is because you are growing and transforming. So yes, it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but you have some really great things coming this month. It's just going to be a little bit testing to actually navigate it through initially, especially because we did have the eclipse in your house. We also had your relationship and contract sector change, and then we had the full moon in Capricorn. Now, the full moon in Capricorn was hitting your 8th house. This is also relating to money, legacy, shared resources, the money you get from other people, your net worth, which will be changing in the weeks coming, especially moving into the 10th of the new moon in Cancer. You can find a unique way in which you can gain income. This may be assets, it might be your net worth, it could be your self-esteem. But you're going to find there is going to be growth. Now, emotions can still be quite testing. We do need to be careful, especially with your aura and eating. Emotions can come up, especially with the energy of Mercury in Cancer. We can be emotional eating or feeling off our food. It's emotional based. So not necessarily is it a neutral time, but it does move into that, and it is going to shift and change. Now, you do have Spirit of Earth in reverse, which is funny enough, it was very much the Capricorn energy. Maybe you may be feeling a little bit ungrounded at the moment, and you could be really taking a very critical eye onto your life, both of yourself and who you are showing up in the world and how other people are relating to you, be it's your contracts, your love life, people, places, and things. Okay, so it's sort of like you're doing this 360. You're looking at it through the washing machine, so to speak, and you're trying to take out the things that don't resonate with you and bring in the things that do. So yes, the shedding of the skin and the revelations as to what needs changing are going to come up very brightly. You will have a lot more energy, but you could be more assertive with your communication. This also, if you are needing to do things, you're going to have the energy to get about and do such, and you will find as we move into about the first week, it's going to be highly charged and extremely busy. So be it's telephone calls, it's errands, it's running around, it's communicating, it's advertising, however you're directly going to be using that Mars energy from Leo, it's going to benefit you, but we do need to be careful about how we directly are communicating and speaking, because we can be a little bit sharp, but it's definitely going to give you the vibration to be more assertive to get what you need to get done. Now, I also feel really great time if you do have energy to manage home, and there could be a home-related dynamic by mid-month that comes up, either in your daily routine, really casting a critical eye on your daily routine. How is it affecting your stress levels? Do you have everything in order? Is the home needing changing? Do you want to change home? All of these subjects can be coming up, and you can be really casting a critical eye on it for that change. But you can find that your routine this month is going to be extremely busy. Now, I do feel also, when it does come to your plans moving forward, I do feel you're trying to take a grounded approach, but everything can be up in the air. And I'm almost feeling it's a bit like you may have too many projects going on, too many things coming at you. And that may be by the second week, but at the moment it sort of feels like it's already happening right now. And that can merely be the things that you're trying to achieve, and you feel you just don't have the energy to do such, or there's too much that you're juggling, a bit like a circus act. The frustration can be, you being able to concentrate. Now, the beautiful thing with Mercury and Gemini is it can flow. But because we had the retrograde, most of where it should have been flowing was more reflective. There were blocks, there were obstacles. So personally, you may have felt that you couldn't be everything to everyone. I do feel, okay, billions of us are living in perfect diversity. It's in reverse. Again, 1,000,001 things coming at you, maybe needing to be dealt with, maybe your expectations of where your life needs to be, as well as your contracts and connections are set to take a turn. Now, the turn is going to be a positive one, but initially it's this internal need for people to understand you, for people to maybe give a lot more than maybe what they have been giving. And I do feel you're casting a critical eye on it, but you're trying to be brave and you're trying to be strong with it, even if you're hearing things to the contrary. I do feel you're really taking a microscope over these areas. And the ruin that you have is to do with these sudden changes. Now, Uranus and Taurus made a square to Saturn and Aquarius. We're still having that lingering effect coming through. And especially for your zodiac sign, this does relate to Taurus, okay? So again, it is Earth, and you do have the Earth energy in reverse at the moment. So you're looking at your home, you're looking at your foundation, you're looking at your personal stability and how you can change it in changing times. Strength, courage, skill, cunning and determination. And the first thing that did come through was how quick can you learn? And it does mean that there might be a circumstance where I wouldn't necessarily say you're having to fake it till you make it, because I really don't think that's going to work in this instance. But it's with what you do know. If there's a circumstance outside the box that you don't grasp, or you're really having to challenge, really, do some research on it. And this could be a really beautiful time to be doing such. I do feel with your spiritual sense, depending on what industry you're working in, if it's in a spiritual sense, you have a belief as to what something should look like, and you're being very strict with yourself. At the moment, your career could be really advancing and enhancing, and some of you could be shifting careers. Some of you may be looking at the bigger picture of what you would need to do in that sector and how you would need to change it about. I do feel the devil in the detail is really going to be your saving grace, but I do feel psychologically having too much going on maybe did affect your nervous system. I do feel it's going to settle down, but at the moment it still can be kind of lingering through. But your net worth is set to increase, as well as your finances and your self-esteem. Now, this also in the reverse connects to degeneration, weakness, fallibility, and subservience. But it is in the upright. So I feel really you're having the strength and the courage, and this Leo energy is coming through. And funny enough, the full moon in Capricorn was actually in the constellation setting of Taurus, which is, we are in the middle ox here, and this is all about these sudden changes. We do have another square that's happening at the end of the year. And because we do have Jupiter and Pisces retrograde at the moment, the revelation you're having is with what you're doing. So whatever you're choosing to do and the steps you're taking, I feel these revelations and changes in how you're shedding skin and how you're shedding a way of being, it's really going to be your saving grace, but it's setting you up for success. Okay, let's see what this connects to. I do feel there's change happening in your life. You're also looking and taking a critical eye onto how you communicate. And I do feel you might be having a very firm conversation with someone. Let's get into your cards. I do feel you could be a little bit critical on yourself at the moment. You're having the courage to move forward, but this is linked to the past. You could be second-guessing yourself that you've taken the wrong step. You could be second-guessing what you're doing. And that can just be because we had the square, as I mentioned. And so with a lot of how we were in June, we had Mercury retrograde, we had Jupiter going retrograde, we had Neptune going retrograde. There was so much coming at us after the eclipses that to get any massive forward momentum, it was very testing on our aura and our bodies. You will get that momentum now, but it was almost like we were in the waiting room. And as we've left the waiting room, we now directly can apply those changes. And some of those revelations are going to come through in the first 2 weeks. I do feel your process of what you're wanting to create is going to be successful. And I also feel these ambitions and these hopes, something's going to shift to actually bring this back your way. I do feel you're also taking a very traditional approach. And I do feel love from the past even being looked at in a different way. But I also feel that slow and steady is going to win the race, but also through your critical thinking and your strength of getting up, dusting yourself off and moving forward is going to be your saving grace. But really taking the tempered approach, doing things in moderation, looking after your body, and also having a balance between 5D and 3D. And we talk about that quite a bit. The 5D is maybe from a mindset with both Jupiter and Neptune. It's giving you a creative view. It's giving you a 5D view of the highest octane something can be. But it's also really anchoring those things in and making them within your power, taking those direct steps. And I do feel you maybe had a light bulb moment and you're shifting your beliefs around in your life. Now, in a project, I do feel success is coming. I do feel slow and steady is going to win the race. I also feel some of you could be getting brand new items. And if you are wanting to have something in your life and at a financial level, I feel if you make a plan of action, this is where it's going to come. But I definitely do see an opportunity to attain new goods at this point. Now, whatever this is, you're making very firm, logical decisions. And I do feel, again, your self-esteem, your personal value, your truth and who you are is your saving grace. Now, not everything is money, no, but self-esteem is, okay? Having the self-esteem, but it not being egoic is going to really balance you. Some of you also could be changing your appearance. It could be, okay, I don't resonate with this anymore. This isn't what I want. And some of you can be really maybe wanting to purchase new clothes, doing your hair, getting your makeup done. It just feels you're different. You feel different in vibration, but you're trying to do things to actually nurture yourself as well as invest in your life at the moment. Some of you might have some difficulties with other people around you. They may not be in your vibe that you currently are at this point, but I do feel within a week they are going to be getting on board to where you are. Whatever these changes are, you're preparing for a rainy day. And you also feel if certain changes this is how it's going to be. What you're guided towards is a full cup. And so I do feel at the moment you're having to make very, very firm decisions on how to find your bliss, on how to deal with the home environment, while those energies are catching up to be received, so to speak. I don't feel that there's no movement. I don't feel there's no love. I do feel love is here. I just feel there is a cycle that is shifting. And, try and not tell yourself that this is going to be like this forever, because what is within your control, I do feel you're going to address it because you know full well that it'll end up being like this if it's not. But it's really tackling those tedious tasks, the emotions, the beliefs. But if connections are struggling at the moment, understand that they too are going to go through that same thing where they'll look at it and understand that they do have to shift it about. Self-worth is massive for you this month, but I do feel overall you are spiritually changing. And I do feel you're leading by example. And as going through that, I feel it's going to benefit you and other people. Now, work. Don't second guess yourself. Please don't second guess yourself. Health at the moment, be careful of what you're eating. Really be in a grounded format when you're eating. Some of you may be looking at, maybe having checkups and having things to that degree. But there could be some old habits that you're actually getting rid of. And also some information and beliefs that you're having. What do I mean by that? It's almost like emotionally you could be holding people at bay, but it is only temporary. I don't feel it's going to shift. And I feel as you work through that, it's going to actually help you moving forward. Some of you have had to be completely self-reliant, and that has been quite testing when other people maybe could have stepped up and actually helped you out. But I do feel that has ended now. Spiritually, you're really letting go of that as a belief system, and I feel you're really ushering in the new of a give and take connection. Now, as for your social, your hopes and dreams and aspirations, I'm seeing some of those things change. And I do feel people from the past maybe had come through. You got some information coming through. Okay, so people from the past may have come through for you. But I do feel there's this, what would I say? There's going to be a lot of healing based on your hopes and dreams and, you know, almost putting yourself on hold. Oh, I'll do that. You know, that will come through. It could be for some of us, that'll come through when my kids move out. That'll come through when I have this or that. It's like really trying to find your bliss in the here and now. Because I don't feel you can live permanently, and I feel this is the revelation you're having. It's like you've got to make those dreams come true within your power. And I'm not talking about another person. That is something that is shifting at the moment. But on your side of the fence where you stand in the first week, I do feel you getting to a very level-headed approach. Understanding and accepting where a person's at, it not defining you, having the bravery to lead by example, you know, where you're saying, hey, I need to be happy right now. Even if you do trigger this person, which I do feel some of you do, but filling your cup, and I feel by you doing such, every other person's going to follow suit. If you are needing to leave an environment and you do feel it's semi-toxic, I kind of feel the others are going to follow you after, and that can be an employment domain. But there is a lot of abundance coming through here. Now, yes, the gifts are coming back, but it's coming quicker than you think. So the courage that you had to move forward is the motivation here for another person to start shifting. I also feel some of you could be second guessing yourself, and it's saying, please don't. It's just the psyche. This too shall pass. Something's going to shift that, but again, I feel what's going to work is two parties here. It's two people making a direct decision in romance to make this work. I also feel the surprise can be a gift, but it also can be that another person is going to be quite prepared to be open to you. And I also feel this person's not going to be fighting this circumstance anymore, and there's going to be communication about how they're feeling, that they have been stressed, that they feel very unfulfilled, but I do feel there's a revelation here. So the sudden shock of change can come through. You might not feel so grounded. You definitely might have some people that are a little bit jealous of you, but really it's long overdue. Pull back my energy, single as a Pringle. Hi, Gems. Any questions, Gems? Definitely see something magical happening in the work domain, but I also feel that there could be some major changes and shifts, yeah, by about the second or third week. Yeah, I kind of feel that it does move very quickly. But some of you are real, it's almost like, I get this gist, I'm seeing an energy, this could be for somebody in the house or it could be collective, but I'm seeing a home, and it's almost like the person's standing in the home and they're like, what am I doing here? Do I stay here anymore? And no sooner do you think of maybe doing something different, it's almost like this energy is catching up, and this could be a romantic partner, but it's almost, there's a question mark over home at the moment. There's a question mark over home. Hi, Dawn. How are you? I was thinking about you this morning. Yes, I was, Dawn. I was like, I wonder how Dawn's doing. I do wonder how you're all doing, but I mean, for some reason, Dawn popped into my mind. Dawn definitely has other zodiacs in her chart. Yes. Yeah, doing good. I'm glad, lady. What's happening on the home front? I just finished Gemini's energy. You're going to get rich this month, Dawn. Sharing's caring. Any questions? Still healing. Yeah, give it by the second week. Give it by the second week, Gems, okay? Because it is going to settle down, that eclipse in your house, and You know, the South Node in Sagittarius, it's your relationship and contract sector. It's emotional, right? Yes, drinks all around. We're going to have auric drinks. Ascension drinks. I've got my ascension drink at the moment. It's my protein shake. Liquid. I like the cup. I'm loving it. That is so cool. Anyway, we're going to come back and we're going to do Aquarius, and then we may do a collective energy update. Okay. Water. Yeah, you do need to keep the fluid up at the moment, guys, because the crown chakra is being activated with Jupiter and Pisces and Neptune. You know, flush. Keep hydrated. Caution with the headaches. Electrolytes as well, yes. Because there's a lot of healing, and especially for Geminis, because you have Scorpio, which is very Capricorn retrograde at the moment. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. It's still your health sector. Look after your body. Because we are going to be having Venus and Virgo, there are going to be squares. Look after your health this month. Look after your health this month. Very, very important. Higher for Virgos, higher for definitely, different signs. I'll do a different report though, and I'll connect them with it. But just for all of us collectively, look after yourself for the first 2 weeks. Definitely a lot of shifts and changes happening in the collective. What did I miss? Yeah. Yes, we are purging. Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to have the new moon happening in Cancer, which will be... I did look all the way back to 2020 because a lot of these aspects were occurring then. Yes. So you can look back to 2020 and around May. I think it was May 2020. Look at some of the news. Some of those themes are going to be replaying out again. Yes. Don't be too firm on our beliefs. Be very open-minded at the moment for the first week. Could be very aggressive. Just stay calm. It was. Yeah. We are moving out of it, but we're having to correct things. So the squares and the oppositions, they're causing issues with well-being, with our psychology, with Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces. We're having to re-navigate with our finances with Uranus and Taurus. One more time, and that's at the end of the year. And we're also having Venus retrograde in Capricorn. So some of these things, if we don't shift things about that aren't working, they're going to come back at the end of the year. So that would have been shown in February of 2021, June around the 14th, and the next one is December the 24th, and that'll be our test run for closing it out. Shift it about for foundation, and this too shall be fine. Love and light, and I'll be back.